Welcome along to your Q&A here this afternoon. With some great guests, we're going to get them out straight away, get the thing moving, and get some great questions. Our first guest, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Yvonne Kavanagh, celebrant, give her a big hand. Welcome up to the stage. Welcome along. I'm going to bring our next man. He needs no introduction, so he does, but the music will help him along. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Magiggs. That's it. Right, and ladies and gentlemen, our final guest. Let's hear it for Emma from Altered Image. Give her a big hand. All right, welcome along, guys. How are we all doing? Yvonne, start with yourself. How's things?
Very well, thank you. It's been a great day here.
You had the travel, so you're travelling a bit today, but you love it.
I do love it. Well, I didn't really travel a bit today because I stayed in this lovely hotel last night just to save me that bit. But yeah, it's lovely
bad.
to be here. Yeah.
Happy days. Magiggs, how's it going?
I'm not too bad.
You had a late one last night, didn't you?
I had a late one. I was home at 5:15 this morning.
Not so good.
I'm missing the Liverpool match. Thanks, Chris, today. But it's nice to be asked and given back. So thank you very much.
There's a few gentlemen out here as well, and they're missing it too. So they are. So we feel for you. Put your hand up.
I actually feel sorry for you. Sorry.
We'll try and keep the score going. We'll try and keep the score. Perfect. And our final guest, Emma from Altered Image. Welcome along, Emma.
Hello there. Hi. Well, I haven't come too far, obviously.
You haven't, and you know this room really well, so we're going to get into that in a moment. I'm going to start with Yvonne, Sam, because Yvonne, you're closest to me. Tell us a wee bit about your business. Tell us who you are and tell us a bit about your business.
Well, my name is Yvonne Kavanagh. I am a spiritual celebrant, which means that I can legally marry you at your venue on your wedding day. It's a really nice way to get married. It ensures that you have a very personal ceremony that's all about you. The way I work is I'll meet a couple and I'll get to know them a little bit and see really what makes them tick and then see what they want to include in their ceremony. And then I'll write that in a personal, meaningful and really warm way, and then at the same time legally marry them. So it's a lovely way to involve family and friends and have the ceremony that you want.
And for a couple, it can be a real minefield, I suppose, for a celebrant or to get to know your celebrant. So if you were going to book a celebrant, what's the process? Or can you talk people through all the legal side of that as well? Because I suppose if you're getting married in a church, a chapel, you know, the priest, the minister, he'll talk you through all that. But can you help couples through all that from the starting process until I suppose they're married as well? You can help with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be very familiar with the legal process in both Northern Ireland and in the South. I'm registered with the GRO and the HSE. So there are legal considerations. Everybody has to legally register their intent to marry. So there's a process to be done. I go through that with couples. I have copies of the forms. I tell them what to expect at an interview that they have to do. And then they will collect their documents that they bring along with them to their ceremony. And I, as an officiant or a solemnizer then, can sign that along with themselves and their witnesses on their wedding day to legally marry them.
Perfect. How far in advance should couples be thinking if they're booking a celebrant? Is it one of them things, we would talk about entertainment, and if you want the entertainment you have to book, you know, as far in advance, you would know that, Magiggs. Would a celebrant be the same sort of thing? Is it really, once you've got a date, is that something you go looking for then?
Yeah, if you have your date and you have your venue,
yeah,
you know, the next thing to do is probably look for a celebrant. And there are plenty of celebrants. Some people do book years in advance, some people work a few months. One couple I had booked me 5 weeks in advance of their ceremony. So that was there was a bit of a panic to get all the legal stuff organised, but it was doable, thankfully. But yeah, if you have your venue and you have your date, book your celebrant. Now, there's plenty of different types of celebrants. I'm a spiritual celebrant. I have some good friends from different organisations as well, so I'm here today. And the thing to do is go and meet them. Have a chat with them. See if you vibe with them. Everybody is not going to be everybody else's cup of tea. You know, in our own company, in spiritual ceremonies, we have over 50 different celebrants, and like they're a lovely bunch of people, but we're all different, you know. Yeah. So go and talk to as many people as you can, because for most celebrants, well, for me anyway, I would rather you have the right person marry you than just like get that booking, get that payment in. It's not about that. We want you to have the best day that you can have. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this job.
Yeah, of course.
So talk to as many people as you can. Find someone who shares your values, knows what you're about, and is going to do a really good job for you. And that you'll be comfortable with on your day.
Yeah.
Because it's your wedding day. You don't want to be standing there and being awkward with the celebrant. And, also you'll find when you're talking to celebrants that, some of them know what they're doing, and they'll be able to tell you, even I had some conversations here today, yes, I do the little choreography dance and work it out with the photographers that I'm not going to be in that shot where the kiss is happening, or if there is something very special that, couples want to include and their kids are involved or their mums are involved or their dads are involved, I'm going to step out of that photograph because that's what you want. These are the memories that you want. And I will think of that, and most celebrants will think of that and go through it with you and plan and get to know that that's what you want, and we'll make sure that it's the best that it can be for you.
We were talking earlier as well before we started this, and you were saying as well, you can really make it to suit your needs. So, like if you want a prayer, if you want something like that, you can add all that in as well. Because maybe you might have a granny that maybe says, no, you should be getting married there, but you can add stuff in like that as well, can you?
Yeah, we can. As spiritualists, we can, and we would encourage that. We can include anything, whether it's something religious, traditional, or cultural that you want to build into your ceremony. Something that resonates with you or is particularly special to you, we will put that in. We'd encourage you to put that in, because that's about being your most authentic self. People do get, there's that kind of having your ceremony with a celebrant. It's still fairly new, at the venue. And people do get that. You get somebody saying, you're not really married.
I think parents and all as well might think that, because it's maybe a new concept, if you went back 20 years ago, so that, the bride's parents or the groom's parents might say, I don't know about that, you can't really do that, you have to go to, the local church, the local chapel, wherever it may be, you have to go there and get married. So it is something new. I suppose there is lots of questions there as well.
But it is like religious elements, prayers, readings can be included in a spiritual ceremony, which is really nice.
Is there anything the couples need to do with the venue as well? Whenever you're booking, obviously they do ceremonies in venues. Can you help couples with any legal things that have to be done there as well?
Well, as the celebrant-led ceremony is a little bit different in that we don't have to have permission to be here. If you were getting the registrar to come to the venue, then there's certain venues that are approved by the registrar, and they would be coming out from the offices, from the council offices, to the venue to do your legal ceremony only and leave again. Whereas celebrant-led, we can marry you comfortably and has taken as much time as we need at your venue. So normally, like, we'd liaise with the venue a little bit, or the couple would liaise with the venue and say, have you got a space, first of all, for a ceremony? And then they'd work in the timings, like how long does that ceremony need to be? And normally a celebrant-led ceremony can be kind of 30 minutes, 40 minutes. They can be 20 minutes, they can be an hour. It depends on how many, I suppose, ceremonial elements that you put in there. You can have your hand fastings and your ring warming, and you can jump the broomstick or do whatever you want to do. But you could also put in plenty of music, so it could be long. You can reduce the elements, you can increase them. What we have to have is a beginning, an end, and a legal bit in the middle, and one ceremonial element for a spiritual ceremony.
I suppose that's a good thing as well. If couples are shy as well, that you can really take away a lot of the pressure out of that, because you can make it a bit shorter and then put in music, I suppose, to hide them bits as well. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and you see, that's the beauty of having a celebrant that you get to know and you meet. Like for me, I never put a cap on my time, or I limit the number of meetings. I would meet a couple 1, 2, 10 times. It doesn't affect the fees. It's just what I do, because I want to make sure that you're 100% happy. Even when we write up a ceremony, we'll share it with a couple and say, edit it as you wish, because it's your ceremony. I have the privilege of writing it, but I'll keep going back to that until you're happy. And that communication really puts couples at ease, and they know that they're in control. It is their ceremony, you know, and they can have it whatever way they want. But it does. And in getting to know couples as well, then there is that relaxed kind of air on the day. Your couple trusts you, you trust them. It's going to be beautiful. And you know that, arriving, the work is done, we're prepared, everybody's going to have a great time.
So what's the process then for booking? You'll do a Zoom call or something as well, won't you? What way is the best?
Usually, if I meet couples like today on a fair, or if somebody finds you online, they'll put in an inquiry and they'll get a reply from the company with a quote, and then I'll get a copy of that email and I'll reach out and say, you know, I'm the human who's been assigned to you, or I'm the person that you've met, and I'll just say, like, you know, thank you for your inquiry and would you like to meet up? Sometimes a Zoom call is the first kind of contact, but I love to meet people in person because there's just that extra element of communication, and you can really see whether you vibe with people and they can see who you are, you know. So I will meet with people. I always say, like, don't be in a hurry to just bang that deposit down. Talk to your celebrant, talk to me, talk to whoever, you know, that you want, talk to a few people, and then make it an informed decision. And then once the deposit is paid, you know, then we get working on your ceremony. We'll pull everything together for you, and then a month before the wedding, we check in, make sure everything's in order, and then I usually meet up the week of, or, you know, by Zoom, or have a final run through, and then we're good to go. Make sure everybody's happy. And of course the reminder to bring the legal stuff on the day as well.
That's important too.
Yeah,
so
that's important. I also have, you know, when we do these different ceremonial elements, we might use candles, or we might use hand fasting materials, like we might have ribbons or cords. And I have a little rolly suitcase that I bring with me with spares of everything. Because quite often you turn up and you're looking for the 3 candles and they're not there because they're still in the boot of someone's car, and I pull them out of my suitcase because I'm not going to bother a bride on the day, and we're ready to go.
Where can people find out as well about yourself, the website and stuff as well?
Yeah, we're on spiritualceremonies.ie, and all our profiles, all the celebrants have a different profile, so you can go and have a look, say meet our celebrants, and there we all are. We're listed, which is wonderful. I'm going to change my name and you'll see why now in a minute. We're listed alphabetically by first name, so my name begins with Y. So you have to scroll right down to the end. So there's 52 of my lovely colleagues that you'll see first. So I did run up by the boss and say, could I change my name to Yvonne rather than I don't think he was going for it. I have to use my legal name. I am a celebrant. You know.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Yvonne.
No problem.
Magiggs, what's the crack?
I'm not too bad. I'm very relaxed here. Thank you to Chris from the Wedding Help for having me here. Hello to everyone who attended. I hope you're having a good day.
So tell us a bit about your business. For people who don't know, how did you get started before even weddings came about?
It started in the bedroom. It was a trip to Ibiza, 1998, I suppose, and then just fell in love with DJing and came home. I got into it. Had to go to my mum and dad to get a few quid. They got me started. And it's like anything, when you start off at the bottom, and you just take it as it comes. Doing the formals, school formals, and mates' birthdays and things like that. And then it sort of then started to materialise. I think we done my first wedding in 1999.
Right.
It was a local wedding. I played in the bar all the time, and they says, you do my wedding. I says, no problem. It was in the Burndale, and back then it was just turn up, play a few tunes and do the thing you want to do, and there was no way what I'm doing today, like the whole process of booking, speaking, and it was just turn up. But then as time went on, I kept doing it, and it was more after parties and nights out, and you were throw the decks up and play a few tunes, and I got away from the sort of the club scene music. I started going to weddings in a serious note, and I actually really enjoyed them because you're playing to a different crowd every time. The variation of music changes from wedding to wedding. Like going back early days, the change I've seen till today in a wedding, it's just off the scale. It's since social media, our weddings are all trying to Americanize them. You see Cassidy and McLean today with the dance floors and the CO2 guns. It's just a different vibe. Like back then, my dad taught me all about the 60s, 70s and 80s. Very few of them tunes are played these days because the generation switch. If anyone asks you for a tune from the 50s or 60s, they probably can't walk anymore. You know what I mean? It's reality. And you have to move with the times. And I've noticed a massive change over the years from starting out. Today, there's more of a thorough touch to booking a wedding. You go through everything, where they're from. You like to know what songs they like and what their backgrounds is, what they're into, what they're not into. And you want to make sure that you're giving your service to the biggest day of their lives to the best possibly of your ability, you know. So there's a lot more into it. It's not just turning up here and going to play a few tunes. There's a background.
And you offer lots of different services as well. So like over the last couple of years, your name is just blowing up. It's just everywhere. Like, you know, and you know, you hear Magiggs now everywhere, and you offer lots of different services. So tell us a wee bit about the different sort of services that people can get throughout the day.
It was a wedding I was doing in September, I think it was 2022. A girl went to Liverpool on her hen party, and she came back and she says, I was at Bongo's Bingo. Could you do that at my wedding? And I went, yeah, why not? I'll give it a go. A lot of it was down to confidence, I suppose, as a person walking into a room. It was easy for that wedding because I knew everyone there. So I emceed them into the room, played their introduction music. We done the speeches. Then we played music during the meal. And as time went on in the meal, the music started to up to get the vibe going, to get people into the groove. And then bingo books came out on the table. It was a complete surprise to all the guests. And we handed out the pens. And then we started playing bingo with the, like you see, a bingo logo and things like that. But I done it to what I wanted to do. So I used guests from the wedding party, which was talked over with the bride and groom, who to handpick. Don't make anyone feel uncomfortable. Yeah, don't, you're not here to ruin anyone's day. You're not here to embarrass anyone. But there is always a buck aged at the wedding. Let's be honest.
Yeah, of course.
A few. So that started, and I done a few things, and then there was a videographer was there. McGill videography was there. They made a reel, and they put it on Instagram, and it just went boom. Then as time went on, I got bored with it, and I says, right, I'm going to pull this back to what I want to do. So I introduced the meal entertainment my way, different things throughout the meal, trying to get everyone involved, because I find doing the DJing, right, if you're doing a full night, people tend to take their time to get on the dance floor. They're either busted after the meal, they're tired, they're in the rooms drinking carryouts, but this is the facts, and this is what we see. And it was only, even when a band was playing, you notice that the drive of people coming on the dance floor, it was slow. And then I said, right, if I can get them pumping at 7 o'clock, when the tables are still in the middle of the floor, they're ready to go into the next stage of their entertainment. And I had one venue saying, keep doing what you're doing, because you're keeping them out of the rooms drinking carryouts, and they're buying more in our bar. Yeah. And I said, well...
But you don't want that for couples as well. That's a funny point, but you really don't want your guests disappearing, because, whenever you're coming around to the first dance and stuff, you want everybody in the room. You want to see everybody, and you don't want people, away to the rooms or away somewhere else. Yeah. So it's a great way as well, keeping everybody in that area and ready for the first dance, ready for the next part of your evening. Isn't that right, Lee?
Yeah, it is, because, any of the venues that I do this in, when any bride and grooms that book me, or any couples that book me, I always asked who your band is. So I then contact the band and I say, look, I'm doing meal entertainment. You can use my PA when it's finished. You set up the back line, whatever it needs. And so there's no delay from the meal entertainment finishing and going straight into your first dance. Yes, the brides might want to go and get pampered up for the first dance, but there's not going to be a lull, there's not going to be a gap. People are ready then to party. You've got them over that first hurdle. They've actually got off their seat and they started to enjoy the meal entertainment. And at the end of it, I have them all doing Maniac. And some of the clips that I have, I see all ages getting involved, and it takes you into the next step. and takes into the next night. So I believe the first part of your entertainment is when the bride and groom and the bridal party come into the room. You set the stall then, and then right through to 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning.
But I think even having that entrance as well, where you're bringing in the bride and groom, it makes them feel special. It makes the bridal party feel special. Everybody's coming up their seats, and it really does. It's great for it's great for your videographer or your photographers. They're there, they're catching them moments. You're coming in the room, you're dancing, and it really brings it. It does look well, so it does. It looks
what I've noticed, especially with the walk-ins these days, I have to now actually ask the bride and groom, have you any special dances? Because they're putting a lot of effort into coming into the room. It's crazy. But like you say, you get everyone on their feet, napkins in the air. You make a grand entrance, and that's it. We're ready to party.
That's all go.
All go. You know me.
You do offer lots of packages, so you can go on the website and you can find out. You can offer like a full day package or like a DJ after the band. Or is there different packages?
There's a couple of packages. There's the MC speeches, meal entertainment, full night DJing. Then there's the same package only with a band.
Yeah.
Then obviously your full night DJing and after band DJing. We can sometimes supply the meal entertainment if I can get to the other venue. If it's within distance, we try not to advertise it too much. But if someone really wants it, and I can get to the next venue, we will work with you. There's no problem. Never turn anyone away.
No. And where can people find out about yourself as well? So is it mostly the website or Instagram, or what's your main sort of?
My biggest pull would be Instagram. DJ Magiggs. There is the link saying to take you to the website, and then there's a girl who works for me, Tricia. She takes up all the bookings and she does all the behind the scenes. Then it's passed on to me, and if the bride and grooms or the couples need to speak to me, they've got my number, WhatsApp. The best time to get me is when I'm driving to a gig. Like I done 3 calls last night. Yeah. And it's easier then that way. I
think as well, Instagram's great because you can see all your footage, and I've seen some of the footage on Instagram, and it's honestly unbelievable for anybody getting married and they were looking for that entertainment. It's the atmosphere that you're setting is unbelievable,
Yeah, well, it's something that I really take a lot of pride about. Is every wedding I do, I give the same energy, the same drive. You get one chance at this. And it's the biggest day of their lives, and you want to give it all. Yes, you might be coming out of a wedding the night before. You get some kip, you come into the room. I love walking into a drinks reception with a new wedding crowd and going, this is it, we're ready to party here tonight. Yeah. And you start feeling the vibe yourself, and when you bring them into that room, the nerves they disappear after about a couple of minutes, and you're ready to give it all.
Perfect. DJ Magiggs, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to Emma from Altered Image. Emma, how are you today?
I'm good. Very hard personalities to follow here after these two guys.
Emma, you're perfect. You know this room better than anybody, so you do. This is perfect. So you'll be able to, if any brides get married here in the Beechlawns, any brides? Any couples? Yeah, perfect. So, Emma, you really know this room well, don't you? Isn't that right?
Thankfully, I'm the resident stylist in here. I've been very lucky to have this from after COVID. So I would be decorating sort of the ceremonies and the reception for any couples that's getting married here. Obviously, outside of here as well, we do loads of different weddings and loads of different venues as well elsewhere.
Take us right back. How did you get started into the decor business? How did you come about?
So I started out about 16, 17 years. I worked for BP Oil years ago. I was an account controller, and I used to run all the events and stuff there. And coming up to my own wedding, I was like, right, I'm a bit of a dab hand at this. Used to run the gala dinners and stuff, so I planned my own wedding. Yeah. So I got married in the Denadry, I think it's 17 years ago. And that morning I was down decorating my ceremony, my reception, while the hairdresser was trying to pull me to get upstairs to go and get ready. But I was like, go and get the rest of the girls done.
Don't advise that for any couples?
No, definitely not, because it was everyone else was stressed. I was fine about it. So after that, then I sort of went, right, actually, I'm going to do this. So I have been doing this for, I don't know, full-time. I've been able to give up full-time work and do this for about the last 4 or 5 years. So, but it's been a long sort of time.
Give us a sort of insight. What sort of products do you offer? So I know you do like the backdrops and stuff like that. What are products or what's popular at the moment?
I mean, we can do anything from floral arches, table centres, room draping, ceiling draping. We work alongside other guys that do the dance floors and things like that. Bouquets, anything to do with the flowers and the decor, from the church to the venue to someone's house if they're wanting it decorated. So,
and I suppose for couples as well coming along, they maybe don't know what, you'll have great sort of pictures each room, so you'll be able to show that as well and see what they're looking.
Well, basically, when a couple sort of book me, I'll say to them they don't need to at the time tell me what they're wanting there and then, because we update all our stuff so often. Trends change, brides change their minds because they get overwhelmed with what is maybe sort of online. So basically, we have such a vast stock. So, there's plenty of stuff there for people to choose. And if someone wants something simple or if they want something more outlandish, we can cater for that.
I think as well, if you go to, like if you're from this area, there could be a few weddings in the area and you don't want the same thing as somebody else as well. So you're trying to change it up. So that option's there as well, isn't it?
Like I'll always say to people, you're not, once you've booked me, once they've selected something, they can change that. There's no problem. And we have such a huge storage of items, that they can change at any time, that if it's a few days beforehand, there's no problem with that, that we can cater to anything.
For room decor and stuff, asked the other guys is, how far in advance should you be looking to book that sort of stuff?
I think it's a good idea to get booked because obviously you want to make sure that you're getting the person that you're wanting. And again, go in and have a look and see sort of their previous work. Are they busy? How long have they been in business for? That you're making sure that person in 2 years' time is still going to be in business. And by that it's down to experience and how long that company maybe has been sort of in place and stuff. So
yeah, of course. Where can people find out about your? Are you on social media? What's your? Is it Instagram your main one? Or
Instagram and Facebook. Trying to do a bit of TikTok, but I think Kim down there is going to maybe start showing me how to sort of get a bit more familiar with things like that.
We're all trying to keep up with social media. We don't know where we should be going. I know I started TikTok too, and it's amazing that you can find it. You ask couples how did they find out about you, and they'll say, "Oh, I found you on TikTok and stuff," and you're going cheaper stuff. They start doing more TikToks and stuff. So it has all changed, and I suppose keeping up with it too, isn't it?
Yeah.
How you find that, Magiggs? You on TikTok yet as well?
I'm exact same as you. I asked a couple of people, how did you see me? TikTok, and I'm going, I don't even use TikTok. I have a couple of videos up, but it's actually people that are making reels and they're tagging me, and it's one of them. I think I got 9.2 million views.
There we go. That's crazy.
Do you know the one, the table film, Derby Castle?
I seen that. That was popular. Did you all see that? Yeah.
It was that one, and then I suppose any advertisement was good advertisement. And then there was another one I done on New Year's Eve.
Was that the follower of the bride? Was that the follower of the groom or the bride? Was it?
Yeah.
Got up on top of the table.
Yeah, he was. The follower of the bride, groom was having a bit of crack, and he just touched his hand on it.
Do you encourage that, Magiggs?
I don't encourage it. No. It was one out of the amount of weddings I do, and it was just a one-off. But I done a wedding on New Year's Eve.
Did Darver and Ricky clean it up afterwards?
No, that's another story. The staff were doing it, and people were.
I hope you felt guilty.
Oh, I did. But sure, no one died. It was all right. But get over it. You see, I've got a couple of viral videos that went. So I'm more Instagram. Anyone in the crowd that can do TikTok, you want to take my account over, you're more than welcome. So there you go.
So Emma, you're telling us TikTok's the way to go then? You're thinking...
I think it seems to be sort of, obviously now I'm in a different generation of the ones that are getting married, sort of more, but I just think that that's now the place to go. I mean, I look at my husband, I wouldn't even like to see the amount of hours that he loses on TikTok, because the amount of things that he sends me, and I'm like, seriously, what are you doing? So... But I think everyone gets lost on TikTok.
We definitely do. I think we'll put any questions. Do you have any questions out in the audience for anybody? Yes, Kim.
Yvonne has an amazing TikTok.
Yvonne, tell us about your TikTok.
I have an amazing TikTok. But it's not to do with my wedding celebrancy, but I'm going to see if I can maybe bring it on. I talk to the birds in my garden, and I have a great affinity for birds, and little robins land on me. They always have. They used to land on my dad before me. I think that's where I first learned it. But I set up a little TikTok page with my daughter was 12, my youngest was 12 at the time, and she said, sure, put that on TikTok. I went, sure I will. And being of a certain vintage, you don't want your face on there. So I record my hand with the bird on it. And I've 30,000 followers. So have a look at the birdie. Yeah. I didn't realise that was a big thing, but apparently that's good.
Can you teach me how to talk to birds?
Yeah,
I get one.
There we go. We don't put up wedding stuff at all. We just put up birds to get 30,000 followers.
But how do you translate that? So maybe
That's
Kim will
unbelievable,
have some ideas. I do have another page, I think of 130 followers or something. But 30,000, look at me talk to the birds.
Unbelievable.
So birdie lady. It's 29.9, so I'd like to see that 30,000 by the
You
end
need
of
to
the day.
get
No
up that
pressure.
30,000. Have we any other questions? Yeah.
From personal experience, is there any do's or don'ts that you would either include in the ceremony, the music, the decor, that you personally like or that you've done before and hasn't gone down well, anything like that? Any recommendations as such?
So we'll go with ceremonies
in the
first, and then I'll go for the end of the decor.
Okay. Well, ceremony, for the content of the ceremony, there's not much planning that goes into it. Really, it's what a couple wants. So if it's something that's very special to you, your celebrant will write it in such a way that it'll work. They'll work it in, where it's positioned in the ceremony, how it will flow. I often say to my brides and grooms, sometimes they have an input, but I will say that, you need somebody who knows where things are going to go, because you're going to come in and it has to flow. You don't want to be standing up and sitting down, standing up and sitting down. So you come in, sit down, do what we can do, stand up, do what we can do. And you need somebody experienced to do that. But anything goes. Like if it's something special to you, your celebrant will find a way of putting it in there and make it work. So ceremony content-wise, you're not limited. You're not limited to what you include. As long as it's meaningful and respectful and it's all about you and celebrates your marriage, put it in there. Decor.
Do's and don'ts.
What can I think of here? Just make it personal to you, and don't be listening to what everyone else is telling you. I think when it's your day, everyone has too much of an input. I would sort of say as well, from experience, try and keep talking about the wedding to yourselves, and just not tell an awful lot of details, because then the next thing, that's when arguments sort of come in of people saying, well, you should be doing it this way or whatever. Come flowers, if any of you are hay fever, anything like that, obviously you need to take the likes of that into consideration, that you want to go down the line of faux flowers rather than real. But apart from that, you have to remember it's your day and it's your way. So
I think even, I suppose, with anything that's a bit newer, a bit different as well, that's where the opinions sometimes come in, because if it's something that hasn't been seen before, something that hasn't been done, you can get a lot of them opinions that if a parent hasn't seen that at a wedding, or a grandparent, they might not think it's traditional enough or something like that. So, but hey, it's your day, so make the most of it, I suppose, isn't that right?
What's been your biggest headache on wedding day?
No headaches, but the best thing for what I do is see every vendor that's included in that wedding day, videographer, celebrants. I even now, because I'm there very early, you see room decor, the bands, the hotel staff, anything. Get on with them, because see, moving forward, number one, they'll recommend you, you'll recommend them, and when you've got a bond and a team working together, like I would work a lot with the same videographer and photographers at my weddings. The venues I work in, Bellingham, Darva, Cabra, Four Seasons, Tankerstown and Ballymcgarvey, that's my main circle. But I built up a massive relationship with all them venues and videographers and photographers. And even when new ones that come along, I'm straight over, introduce myself, and make it as easy going forward for the next time, you know. So that's the way I look at it.
I think if there's always something wrong in a way, it's always the photographer's fault, isn't it? It's normally they haul everything up, isn't that right? If any photographers in... No, I'm only joking. Do you know what? I suppose timing on the day is one of them. It's one of them things that always people get sort of a bit upset about. But there's times you just, you know, it's.
That's the first thing. I had a bride, and she sent me the plan for the day, as much as the time of the service, right through. Like, and I was going, I don't know this. That's. Don't even worry about time. You know, we had a bride there lately. She was an hour late to the service, which saying put the whole day back. They were sitting down to dinner at 7:15, and the speeches took an hour and 10 minutes, and I was doing the MC. Then we had meal entertainment. The first dance was 11 o'clock. You know, it happens, you know, and if it does happen, you've got 3 hours of entertainment. Go for it. Enjoy it. Don't get worked up about timings, because things do happen.
I always think there is wee things that you can save, like see doing like the greetings and all. I don't know if you would agree, like the greetings at the church or the chapel. Do you know what? Sometimes it's best to maybe leave them to the hotel, and you know that can save you. Honestly, it could save you 45 minutes on your day. So if you're looking to save time, I think that's a great one. Like, I don't know.
And I think it ruins the bride's makeup as well, actually. You know,
Aye,
like kissing, because I've seen brides with half a face of makeup left at the end of that, you know.
But I think after a ceremony, you know, we can spend 45 minutes there just greeting, and you know what? You're going to see them at the dinner anyway, so you can say hello to everybody at the dinner, but you're saving 45 minutes. So if time is important, I suppose that's one of the things.
And another one that I pick up on, especially now when I'm doing the MC, is the speeches. You have people who have never seen a microphone before, and they're coming to me and say, like, what do you do here? And I, don't be nervous. Get to the point. Thank everyone for coming. Say something about your son or your daughter. Tell everyone they're looking well. Enjoy themselves. They're not really there to listen to a long-winded speech. If you can make it easy for them, especially the father of the bride, you know, it's a big thing for him, you know. And some of them are confident, some of them aren't. So make it as easy. I do make a point before we call them into the room. I go and speak to the parents and say, this is how you use the mic. Keep it up nice and tight. Speak clearly. Say what you have to say. Get to the point and hand the mic back.
But I think even the MC for, you know, if you're thinking about getting an MC for your speeches and stuff, honestly, it's worth every penny, because I'm not knocking hotels, but some of the hotels you get into as well, you're not going to get that nice, you know, we're coming in with PA systems, and the PA systems are, you know, they're state of the art, and you're going to have a nice speaking voice, whereas you can get into some hotels, and some of them, you'll agree with me, you know, if there's 300 in a room, that's maybe made for announcements. You know, it's like speakers on the roof. They're not made for sort of 300 people chatting and then trying to do a speech to them as well. Like, you know.
All the hotels I do it in, they just love to see me coming now, because they say, thank God he's here. We don't have to worry about anything.
Aye, that takes a lot of pressure off them too, doesn't it? Like, you know,
because they're there to do, obviously work as a wedding coordinator. They don't like speaking on the microphones.
No,
it can be a very nerve-wracking thing. So when you hand it over to someone that enjoys it, knows what they're doing, it takes pressure off the day, and we just get ready to party. That's it.
Definitely. Any more questions in the audience? Yeah.
I just have a question mainly for Magiggs around the sort of differences, or we're sort of pondering the idea of having band and DJ as opposed to just full DJ.
Well, it's a question that I see quite a lot on the Wedding Help page and other pages, whatever. You do see a lot of it, and it's down to personal preference. I know all the bands, they do a good job, and then you have your DJ. But if you look at it this way, if you're going to DJ the full night, that DJ can play all that music. He has a wide range where the bands go in and they do their set. A lot of people I know, they love the live band. There might be a family member who plays in a band, and they really want that at their wedding. I would say I'm on a 60-40 full night, maybe 70-30 full night going forward. If you're going to go that full night, things to look for: setup, interaction, what music, if they're willing to do a playlist, sit down with the couple and go through the whole stage of the whole day or the evening, find out what they like, find out what they don't like. The biggest request for the don't like song, what I would say, do not play Rock the Boat, right? Another one, believe it or not, is Proud Mary. So, and every couple's different. Like, I do a wedding and someone says to me, don't play any cheese like you were playing at such and such a wedding, and I'm saying, yeah, but that's what they wanted. That was their day. So that used to annoy me, and now it doesn't, because I'm well used to it. But if you have someone that has a wide range of knowledge and wide range of music and interacts and gets the crowd going, and like a full night, it's in stages. It's all about a gradual build-up right to the very end. You don't go in all guns blazing at the start. You try and work your crowd and see around what they're reacting to. You're always watching. It's how you read a crowd. And if someone knows how to read a crowd, you've got the right person. And there's loads of DJs out there that can help you. Any band members here, I'm sorry, I'm not running down, by the way.
Peter's raging over there, so he is absolutely raging. He's actually thinking about walking home. I think it is one of them things, and budget's a big part of that too. So always look at your budget and think, if you're thinking about a band, is it that important to you, or is it that important to different people in your family as well? And think about it. It's going to be a great night's entertainment, because whenever you're booking people, I think even on the Wedding Help platform, or you're booking wedding professionals, or people that's doing weddings day in and day out. So we sort of know, how to create a good atmosphere, I suppose. Well, what we're doing is not right.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. Like, I'm all about generating atmosphere, getting to know the couple. When I walk into a room, especially when I'm doing the meal entertainment start, people don't know me, but by the end of it, they will know me, and you build up. You build up connections, and I'm an awful man for watching social media when they're on the hens and the stags, looking for wee songs that they're actually reacting to. Yeah. Certain, like if say there's a football team and they won something and they're all celebrating. Like, I done a wedding the other night, and it was a football team that won the Ulster Club Championships. But I was watching their social media from what songs they were playing. So I brought it into the wedding the other night, and how does he know that? Because I done the background work myself. Yeah. So it's adding them wee extra touches in to make the bride and groom or the couples have the best possible experience that you want to give them.
I think even tailoring the set list as well, you'll get all that information as well. All right, I think that brings it to an end. Let's hear Yvonne, Kavanagh, Celebrant, DJ Magiggs, and Emma from Alter and Image. My name's been Dale Thomas. Thank you so much, guys. And do tune into the podcast as well every Monday. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a massive round of applause for Dale Thomas today?